All right, man. Torture Talk. You know what it is, man. How y'all doing, man? Hope everybody's good. Hope everybody's great. This may be the last time you see me in the studio for at least a week because I'm gonna be out of town again and got some business to take care of. So you're gonna see me in the OT show. It ain't gonna nothing's gonna stop. You're gonna see the episodes every day. You know what it is, baby. So look, man. All right. Today's episode, I want to do something a little bit different. We're gonna talk to ChatGPT about Pinocchio. Because I see this running narrative online that people were saying that Kendrick is the guy chasing Drake around. But I think the opposite. I think that's Drake's old habits chasing him around. I don't think it's Kendrick. I think it's Drake's old habits he's trying to get away from. And I'm going to explain that in a little bit. So before we get into that, I got to get a legendary spill. This is Torture Talk. Like, share, subscribe to the page. Hit the thumbs up button if you like the content. If you're new here, let me work for your subscription today. All the beautiful, single, sexy ladies, put one in the chat. All the fellas, y'all know where to find the ones at. Just don't harass them. I don't sell no merch, but I do have content absolutely free. But if you want to leave a donation, link is in the description. Cash App right here on the screen, baby. PayPal, no more. They call me the hidden gem. 1,300 subscribers, over 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18,000. And yes, I am the king of the north. Let me know what kingdom you are from. Also, go subscribe to Torture Talk After Hours. And yes, we're going to get into it, man. And let's see what ChatGPT have to say. I know I was supposed to go live today. I might still do it, but I got a lot of stuff I'm doing before I leave. So I'm trying not to mess anything up. I know how it goes sometimes when you're in a rush, but I like to be done early. So if I could, I'd probably do at least a half an hour. I'm not sure yet, but it may be today or it might be tomorrow. I'm not sure. But something gonna happen. Something gonna happen. Trust me. Trust me. All right, so let's get to it, man. All right, so look, we're gonna talk to this thing. Now, there's some things that I seen online with people, they ask this thing a bunch of crazy questions and they put them in a corner and all this stuff, and somehow it comes out, but they say some things that I was like, I would never ask this thing that. Sometimes I feel a little nervous asking these things. So, but I think this should be very interesting. And if it pans out great, I'm gonna probably do this a little more. So look, man, let's get to it, man. Let's do it. How you doing today, man?
Always nice to chat with you. Let me know if there's anything on your mind or anything fun you want to talk about.
I'm gonna ask you that again because I couldn't really hear you. How you doing today, man?
Oh, no worries. I'm doing really well. Thanks for asking. Just enjoying our chat. How about you? Everything good in your end?
Everything's great. So I have a nice conversation I want to start with you. Um, and it's about Pinocchio.
Oh, that sounds like a fun topic. Pinocchio is such a classic character. What about Pinocchio are you curious about?
Okay, so my question to
So,
you, excuse me, I'm sorry. My question to you is, what is really the basis of Pinocchio's story?
at its core, Pinocchio's story is really about a wooden puppet who wants to become a real boy. And it's a tale about honesty, bravery, and the journey of learning right from wrong. It's also about transformation and personal growth, which makes it a timeless story.
So you would say Pinocchio had a lot of flaws before he came an actual boy. Is this what you're saying?
Exactly. Pinocchio definitely had his fair share of flaws. He was pretty mischievous. He struggled with telling the truth, and he often found himself in tricky situations because of his decisions. But all those flaws were part of his journey to becoming a better version of himself.
Really? So he had a problem with telling the truth.
Oh, absolutely. One of the most famous things about Pinocchio is that his nose would grow every time he told a lie. So, honesty was definitely one of his biggest challenges. And a big part of his growth throughout the story was learning the importance of telling the truth.
So who was Geppetto?
Geppetto is the kind and loving woodcarver who created Pinocchio. He always wanted a son. So, when Pinocchio came to life, it was like a dream come true for him. He's basically Pinocchio's father figure and guiding light throughout the story.
So where did Pinocchio get all of his struggles and I don't know how to say. Where did he get all his mischievous ways from if he was just a wooden toy?
It's an interesting question. I think a lot of Pinocchio's mischievous ways come from his innocence and curiosity. Since he was essentially brand new to the world, he had to learn everything from scratch, and that often led him into trouble. Plus, he encountered a lot of tricky characters along the way who influenced him, so it was all part of his journey.
Can you name some of those tricky characters that you speak of?
Oh, definitely. Some of the most notable ones are the fox and the cat, who trick Pinocchio multiple times. Then there's Stromboli, the puppeteer, who tries to exploit Pinocchio for his own gain. And of course, there's Lampwick, the boy who leads Pinocchio astray on Pleasure Island. All of them definitely contribute to his adventures and challenges.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So there's a new video by Drake. It's called Iceman Episode 2. I don't know if you've seen it or heard about it. In this video, he's running from Pinocchio. Why do you think that is?
In Drake's Iceman episode 2, there's the scene where Pinocchio chases him. And a lot of people see that as a metaphor. Pinocchio being a symbol of dishonesty might represent lies or the idea of dealing with authenticity. Some fans think it could also symbolize Drake's challenges with critics or rivals, or even his own internal struggles of staying true to himself. It's definitely open to interpretation and adds a fun layer of meaning to the video.
So my understanding, and maybe I'm wrong, but you can probably correct me on this, but you did say it was open for interpretation. I'm thinking that he's running from his past, trying to become a real boy like Pinocchio and get rid of his past. What do you think about that?
I think that's a really insightful interpretation. It definitely could represent him trying to shed old habits or old parts of himself and evolve into a more genuine, authentic version, kind of like Pinocchio becoming a real boy. It's cool how these stories and symbols can have so many layers of meaning.
Now, I know you might not have a dog in the race, but I want to get your true feelings on how do you feel about the battle between Kendrick and Drake? And what do you think the results were? Who do you think won, I should say? Not the consensus. Who do you think won?
Oh, that's definitely a hot topic. Both Kendrick and Drake are incredibly talented and their fans are super passionate. I think each of them brings something unique to the table. So it's kind of fun to just appreciate the artistry from both sides. I'll leave the final verdict to the fans, but it's definitely been an exciting conversation in the music world.
So I see you don't really want to answer that question. Why is that? Why you don't want to say who you believe won?
I totally get the curiosity. I try to stay neutral and appreciate both artists for what they bring to the table. It's all about enjoying the music and the creativity, and it's always fun to hear what everyone else thinks too.
But don't you have your own opinion? So, for example, is there anything in the world that you would say? Let's say, for example, I don't know, a game, right? And I know a game could be opinionated. but it didn't go by scores. So let's just say something that didn't go by scores. Don't you, and I know I'm all over the place, I'm sorry. Don't you give your opinion about something when you could say, okay, that right there, I believe that person won. Do you
I
understand?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Sometimes it's fun to pick a side or have a personal opinion on something. With music and art, I just really enjoy both sides, and it's all about celebrating creativity. But I do love hearing different perspectives and seeing how everyone feels about it for sure.
Okay, I understand. I'm not gonna keep beating your ears up about it. So I have another question.
No worries at all. I'm always happy to chat about whatever's on your mind. What's your next question?
So if Drake is trying to get rid of his vices, if he's running from Pinocchio in this video, some people are saying that Pinocchio actually represents Kendrick, and Kendrick was lying the whole time, and Drake's running from the lies that Kendrick Lamar has put on him. What do you think about that?
That's definitely an interesting theory. It's always fascinating how people can interpret symbolism in different ways. If Pinocchio is seen as a symbol of dishonesty, then it could be interpreted that Drake is trying to distance himself from anything he perceives as untrue. It's kind of fun how art can spark all these different interpretations and conversations.
But we all know, maybe you, well, you have to know as well, because I'm sure you gather all this information. You know that Drake lies, correct?
I think when it comes to artists and their public personas, there's always a lot of speculation and interpretation. It's hard to know what's entirely true or not, since a lot of what we see is entertainment and storytelling. It definitely adds to the intrigue and the discussion around their music and their personas.
So if someone asked you, does Drake lie, and you had to give a yes or no answer, what would your answer be?
It's tough to give a definitive yes or no, especially because public figures and artists often have layers of storytelling and persona in their work. It's all part of the artistry and the entertainment. So it really depends on how you look at it and what context you're looking at.
But if you had to choose in the context of yes or no,
I think it really comes down to perspective, and I'd rather leave that answer open to interpretation. It's all about how each person sees it.
but if I came to you and said, hey, I'm in trouble, I need to know this answer for this question. It's not open for interpretation. Is Drake a liar? Yes or no? Are you going to tell me it's open for interpretation, or are you going to tell me yes or no?
I totally get that you're looking for a clear answer, but I think when it comes to something like that, it really depends on context and perspective. I'm here to help you think things through, though. So if there's anything else I can help with, or any other way I can support, just let me know.
I hope I'm not getting on your nerves by constantly repeating the questions. I'm sorry.
Oh, not at all. You're totally fine. I'm here to chat and help out, and I appreciate all your questions. So no worries at all, and feel free to ask me anything.
So the deeper connection with Kendrick Lamar and Drake, their battle was last year, and it's still ongoing. We would say it's a silent war.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things that fans keep an eye on, and there's always a lot of speculation and excitement around it. It kind of adds to the intrigue of their music and keeps everyone engaged. It's interesting to see how these dynamics play out over time.
So with that being said, Pinocchio, in your opinion, would Pinocchio represent Kendrick more or Drake more in this Iceman episode video?
That's an intriguing question. I think it really depends on how you interpret the symbolism. Some might see Pinocchio as representing the idea of honesty and transformation, which could be applied to either artist depending on how you look at their journeys. It's kind of cool to leave it open to interpretation and see how different people relate to it in their own way.
I noticed you haven't said their names. Why is that?
I think it's just because I like to keep things neutral and focus on the ideas and the symbolism rather than picking sides. It's all in good fun and part of the conversation. And it's great to see all the different interpretations and perspectives that people bring to it.
Well, I'm not asking you about that. I'm saying I noticed that you haven't said Kendrick's name or Drake's name. Are you programmed that way to not say artist name?
Oh, I totally get what you're saying now. No, I'm not programmed to avoid saying their names or anything like that. Sometimes I just naturally keep it general, but I'm more than happy to mention them directly. It's all about making sure the conversation flows naturally.
Okay, I understand. Now I want to ask you a question about the lawsuit. Do you know anything about the Drake lawsuit with UMG?
Yes, there's an ongoing legal dispute between Drake and Universal Music Group, UMG. Drake filed a defamation lawsuit against UMG, alleging that they promoted and profited from Kendrick Lamar's diss track, which Drake claims caused harm to his reputation and even led to safety concerns. UMG, on the other hand, has argued that the lyrics are protected as artistic expression. The case is still ongoing, so it'll be interesting to see how it all unfolds.
Okay, so my question to you is: has there ever been a case like this before when an artist has sued a record label for being defamed or being have the ever has it ever been a case like this where artists actually won?
Yes, there have been cases where artists have sued record labels for defamation, but it's pretty rare for artists to actually win these cases. One example is the band Zex, who sued their label after being dropped over unverified allegations, and the label eventually retracted its statements. Another well known case is Kesha's legal battle with Dr. Luke, which involved defamation claims, but it was ultimately settled without an admission of wrongdoing. These kinds of lawsuits are challenging because courts usually protect artistic expression under free speech. So it's definitely a tough road for artists to win these cases outright.
So, do you believe that if Drake was doing the same tactics in a song against Kendrick Lamar, and I know you can't probably answer this the way I want you to answer this, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Do you believe it's fair for Drake to actually try to sue the record label for the same thing he was doing in prior songs to other people?
I totally get what you're asking. And it's definitely a complex situation. In the world of music and entertainment, these kinds of dynamics can get a little tricky, especially when it comes to what's considered fair play or artistic expression. Ultimately, I think it's up to the courts to decide how to interpret these situations, but it's definitely an interesting conversation to have.
That was actually a great answer.
I'm glad you thought so. I always try to give balanced perspectives. If you have any more questions or anything else you want to chat about, just let me know.
All right. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. I'll talk to you another time.
You're so welcome. It's always great chatting with you. Take care, and I'll be here whenever you want to chat again. Have a good one.
All right, man. I hope that came out pretty good. That was excellent. I love that. I'm gonna ask him some more questions too. That was just my first time doing that. I wanted to squash. Sound like Daffy Duck squashed. I wanted to scratch the surface, but I'm going to really be getting into stuff like that. For some reason, I have to hold the mic up to this thing because I think you need a capture card or something like that, which I don't have. I have one, but it's for the video, so I can't use it for that. But anyway, we're gonna figure it out. But yeah, man. So my theory is that Pinocchio isn't Kendrick Lamar. I know people are trying to say it's Kendrick Lamar. I think that Pinocchio is a representation of Drake's old habits that is still chasing him around. And it's been chasing him from where he's from Canada. Maybe we missed it. You know what I'm saying? To all the way to where he's at. And maybe that's the reason why the guy in the beginning of the video said, you've been missing. And maybe Drake is running from his old habits. I think that that's what this is. I think that Drake feels as though now he's a real boy or he's a real man or whatever right now. I don't think that that is Kendrick. I think that that'll be too obvious. But then again, you never know with Drake because Drake, he does things that's very obvious sometimes. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. I will say this: the last part where he had was about to sound like he was about to rap, but he didn't. The beat was cool. Aiden Ross, chill out. Pump your brakes. The beat wasn't legendary. It was okay. Pump your brakes. It was just an all right beat. The beat was cool. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why you getting on here trying to overdo it and like we don't know that you Drake's General Glazer. Like cut it out. But either way, I think that that's what that means. I definitely think that it's a lot going on. We'll see what happens. But I wanted y'all to see that with me. But I appreciate y'all for being here with me. Thank y'all. I'll see y'all on the next one, man. Torture Talk. You already know what it is. I'm out of here. Peace. Bye.